Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of fireside. It's got that smokiness of the lapsang. So good, guys. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea or possibly a cup of coffee, or as I always say, something harder. Depends on what part of the planet you're on. So today we're talking, as we always do, tech, photo, video. Today is a photo day. We're talking about Canon and their up-and-coming release of their Canon EOS R3. Now, this Canon EOS R3 is basically, in my opinion, the equivalent to an EOS 1D X Mark III plus an EOS R5 with a sprinkling of some uncovered alien technology. Something like that. All right. It's out there. There's a lot of cool things. Do they work? Who knows? But we're going to talk about them today. We're going to get into the spec update of what this Canon EOS R3 is going to have in it. So before I get into it, I want to say that if you haven't downloaded my ebook as of yet, go pick it up. It is 100% free. 10 tips of making tack sharp images. You can find it over at JCristina.com/ebook. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook. 10 tips of making tack sharp images. There's something there for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're a professional, a pro-am, or an amateur, you're going to get something out of that ebook. Once again, it's free. Pick it up. Also, if you haven't cleaned your sensors as of late, clean your sensors. I created the Aurora Camera Care about 6-8 months ago. It's doing phenomenally. You can pick them up over on Amazon, Amazon Prime, B&H Photo and Video, JCristina.com, on my website, and hundreds of mom and pops throughout the world. Pick them up. Aurora Camera Care. Super simple and easy to clean those sensors. So let's get into it. What I did is I put together a list of all of the updates, let's say, to this Canon EOS R3. And they look pretty phenomenal. Like I said, is it going to release this way? I don't know, but I can only tell you what we have, and that's what I'm going to give you all of this information. And then I want you to be the judge. In the comment area below this video, put your thoughts. What do you think about this camera? Also, I want to know how this will compare to a Z9 or a Sony, like an Alpha One or something. What are your thoughts? Okay, so starting out at the very beginning, it will have the same weather seal and fantastic magnesium body that you would see in a Canon EOS 1DX Mark III, and this is to be expected. This is going to be a flagship professional camera. So that being said, it will also have the same style buttons as you'd see in a Canon EOS R5. Once again, like I said, they're marrying that 1 series with the EOS R5 with a sprinkling of some alien technology. So those 3 operational dials, let's call them, there'll be one that will sit right behind the shutter button, a second one will be right on the camera's shoulder, and then a third one will be on the back face of the camera. So that is awesome for me because I am a tactile shooter. I don't want to have to look on the back of the camera and sit there and fuss around with stuff. I like to have dials. That's one of the reasons I love Fujifilm, because of all of those dials. I come from a film background, so now in digital, to be able to have dials and be able to just shoot and not have to look and just change things while I'm shooting is just a godsend, and that's what I think all cameras should be. Anyways, this will have that on there, which is fantastic. Also, what I found very interesting is it's going to have a fully articulating back panel. So instead of like a 1D like I have all the rest of our 1 series, right? They are just simply a screen on the back and that's it, right? You don't have this fully articulated back panel. So having that fully articulating back panel to me means that it will be a video beast as well as a photo beast, more of that hybrid in comparison to what I believe we will see with the Canon EOS R1. I think that will be more photo-centric, and this will be that kind of meeting ground in between the R5 and the R1. We will see. Anyways, moving on, it has a massive viewfinder on the back. You can see the eye cup is huge, that you have that EVF in there, and there's a ton of space all the way around that EVF. Now, that most likely will house that Canon's Eye Control AF module that I talked about a couple of videos back, where it'll be shooting IR basically at your eye to see where your eye is looking, like a fighter pilot heads up thing, and wherever you look is where it will think it needs to track to. So if you are following, let's say, the motion of something and your eye is tracking the head of that animal or the front side of, let's say, a car, it knows what you're looking at based on that information. Once again, this Alienware type of technology, which I think is really cool, but this technology was in a camera probably like 3 decades ago. It's just they've refined it at this point. This camera will be able to shoot 30 frames per second or higher in electronic shutter mode, which is awesome. They say it also will have this enhanced autofocusing system. It will include deep learning technology as well as autofocusing, subject tracking all the way down to -7 EV. That's pretty damn dark, guys. That is dark. And of course, it'll be able to track people and eyes and faces and animals and now cars and motorcycles and such. Very, very interesting. So obviously this thing is designed for fast moving objects like motorsports. Okay, so they have included into the mix cars and bikes, motorcycles and stuff. Once again, we're adding to the list of things that we can track. Now the camera will also have on-sensor as well as optical stabilization, or IS, and it'll be able to marry the two or combine the two to provide up to 8 stops of image stabilization. That is pretty stabilized, guys. I mean, at that point, you don't even need a gimbal. You can hand hold at 8 stops of image stabilization. That is a ton. Also, what is said, now this is quite interesting. You will be able to use a Canon speedlight flash in electronic shutter mode. Did you get that? You'll be able to use a flash with the electronic shutter as long as you use the Canon speedlight. Now I'm going to get into that a little bit more, but basically what this means is the readout of this stacked CMOS sensor has to be borderline global shutter type of fast. This will absolutely control rolling shutter for sure, but it would have to be that quick to be able to use it to sync the flash. The readout would just simply have to be really quick. Now the next thing is the shooting. It will shoot 4K oversampled, and it will provide Canon's log 3. But what is cool here is that it will be able to do it raw. That is right, raw video internal 4K. That's pretty sweet, guys. That is pretty sweet. So if you are an editor, you know to be able to get raw footage that you can color grade after the fact and be able to do it internally and not have to use like a Ninja or something, an Atomos. I mean, that is pretty cool. How they do it? Well, they do it with CF Express, right, guys? So they're giving you 2 cards in this camera. You're going to get dual card slots, but one slot will be a standard SD, fast SD, obviously, but the other one will be a CF Express. Now, obviously, if you're going to do any of this fast motion stuff, 30 plus frames per second, and capturing 4K raw and all the rest of the stuff, you're going to need a very fast CF Express card, and they ain't cheap. But you can put it into this camera. Now what they did do is if you have a Canon EOS 1DX Mark III like we do, the exact same batteries like the LPE19s will go into this camera. So you won't have to go buy a whole nother set of these batteries. So they are those mega batteries. I wish I had one here to show you. It's probably like half the phone. I mean, they're huge, right? These are big batteries that go into them, obviously because this is a full-size body, right? And lastly is the hot shoe. Well, it's not really a hot shoe anymore. It's a expanded data communication port. Basically, they ripped the page right out of Sony's playbook where the hot shoe actually has a data port connected to it so that you can do additional things with it. And I'm going to guess this is probably one of the reasons why they can use the Canon speedlight on the top of the camera and be able to shoot in a electronic shutter mode. It just simply makes sense. It's able to provide that high-speed data that would be needed to be able to fire off that shutter and be able to fire off the flash simultaneously in sync. So this is quite interesting because I can see a EOS version or an EOS R3 XLR, let's say adapter for the top, so that you can bring in incredible audio straight into the camera. Okay, the same type of thing that Sony does. So once again, Canon just ripped the page right out of Sony's playbook here, and rightfully so. It is a smart thing to do because Sony had it right when they came out with this. It just made sense and it works out fantastic. So, price. There is no price revealed as of yet. Now, there's been some things out there that kind of directs towards $6,000, $7,000. Some people say $7,500. I'm going to guesstimate $5,999 will be the magic number. That is $5,999 or $6,000. That is what I think that this camera will come out at. And for what they're saying is going to be in this camera, once again, EOS R5 married with a 1DX Mark III with a sprinkling of uncovered alien technology. I think $5,999 is a superb price for what you're getting. But bear in mind, this is only the midpoint of that mountain. We still have to see that tippy top of the mountain, which will be the EOS R1. But I really do think, and you guys can probably quote me on this, I think the R1 will really be specific to photo. Yes, it's going to do video and it will do it really well, but it's really going to have to be something amazing when it comes to photo because the 1D has always been about that. But as you can see, the technology that Canon is putting into this EOS R3, the R1 is going to be even better, and this is what they say. So what are they going to unearth to be able to put into the R1 to make it so much better? I personally think it's going to be a smaller megapixel sensor than what we see in this camera, and it's going to be even faster than this camera with all of this tech, probably honed down even tighter. So I want to know your thoughts. Once again, what do you think about this information? Also, what do you think about if this all comes to pass as stated? How will this compare to the likes of the Sony Alpha One or a Z9? All right, where would this stand? Is it equal? Is it better? And if it is equal, when the R1 comes out, what the heck are they, Nikon and Sony, going to bring out? Something amazing also, right? So there's a lot of good times, I think, coming in the end or third quarter and fourth quarter of 2021, and I'm excited about it. So I can't wait for it to be here, and I'm going to keep reporting back to you guys any information, any news that I glean on the interwebs, so to speak. So anyways, once again, in the comment area, put your comments. Let's have this discussion, and when we're done down here, head over to community.JCristina.com. That's our creative Discord server where we can hang out and continue the conversation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There's a lot of smart people over there. Once again, community.JCristina.com. It is our creative Discord server. Also, if you got anything out of this video, or if you liked it just a little bit, please consider giving it a thumbs up. But if you didn't, go ahead and give the video 2 thumbs downs. It's all right. I'm okay with it. But if you did like it, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the little bell icon over here if you are subscribed. So when I come out with new videos or when I go live, you will be notified of it immediately. Also, if you are one of the guys out there or gals that want to support the channel, click down here where it says join. You'll become a member. I'll be able to give you perks and you can contribute $1 or $2 a month, whatever you can afford to do so. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That would be awesome. And for getting to the end of this video, thank you. Use promo code YT20 at checkout. You'll get 20% off everything in your shopping cart. Not one thing, everything. Once again, YT20 at checkout. And if you don't want to pick up my products here, on the website, JCristina.com, head over to B&H Photo and Video or to Amazon or Amazon Prime or the hundreds of photography stores worldwide that carry the J. Cristina Photography Tools line. Anyways, guys, many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe and stay healthy.